I've tested a lot of cases, and here are another 9 of them that I think look great, feel great, and work great too. So let's check it out. Now, if you hate using a case but still want to stand out from the herd of sheep, you can put a bikini on it, or in this scenario, the Arc Pulse case, which, jokes aside, is actually quite premium, like the Victoria's Secret of iPhone underwear. Like any bikini though, it comes in 2 pieces, one for the top and another for the bottom, with just enough of a raised lip around both sides to justify saying it protects your phone. But you'd be surprised, it actually stays on through our scientific drop test too. The outer shell is made of metal with a rubber lining inside to avoid any scratching, and what keeps it friction fit in place, so it lets your iPhone be an iPhone without adding any bulk where it matters. You will finally get to feel something naked outside of yourself. You can type, play games, take calls, and even slide it into your pockets without issue. However, the slight trade-off is MagSafe. Smaller attachments like chargers may work, but anything that requires a larger surface may not stay on properly, although if the goal is to stay as minimal as possible, who cares? If this is you, a clumsy, forgetful, and just overall uncoordinated human being, don't worry, me too. Hence why dbrand is fully capitalizing on you and me with their grip case. That's all thanks to this micro texture all around the case that feels like a massaging sandpaper, if that makes any sense. Add to that the race strips along the edge so your fingers can finally see some action too, and not have to pull a muscle as iPhones get larger every single year. It's got some clicky buttons and no issues with MagSafe. So if you know this dance, then you know. Plenty of protection around the front, back, and as tough as it is to drop it, you will somehow still find a way. So thankfully, it's got you covered there too. Now, with the boring details over, the real fun begins with this. The fact that dbrand specializes in skins, and that goes for their grip case too. This one is their new circuit board series in collaboration with Linus Tech Tips, and even if you have no idea who that is, just know it can do this. Wha-bam! Glow in the dark, baby. Don't worry if you find that tacky though, or just don't like being the star of the show. I may have just discovered my new stealthy blackout setup, because come on. The texture combined with the detail, and it comes in an orange too, alongside the dozens of other designs they offer as well. There's definitely something for everyone. The best part, their Black Friday sale includes up to 35% off the grip case, which they've never done for it before, but they also offer up to 50% off site-wide for other gear and skins as well. No code needed, just go save some moolah and you can finally stop dropping your damn phone. Win-win. If you hate cases, then this is the case combo for you. The new Dango Covert case is similar to your attention span. Barely there. Made of metal all around, it's basically like a bumper around the edges with some additional coverage around the camera, yet for how little there is there, it still manages to include some thick rubber bumper corners too. Installation is simply snapping it on, and bumper cases like this basically allow your iPhone to still be an iPhone. Dango has opted for the cutout approach for all the buttons and ports, so it really is like you're using a naked iPhone, except you get this metal bikini wrapped around the whole device. And just like if you were to wear a pair too, you will definitely catch some attention. The front is also covered with some lifted plastic corners, and when combined with those added bumpers, it all held in place through my scientific drop test, leaving plenty of room between your screen and the floor. Now, the full cutout around back is great to look at, but should be paired with their MagSafe wallet too, because once it clicks into place, they fit perfectly, as if they were meant to be. Their MagSafe wallet fits up to 4 cards comfortably, but the hinge on the door is what really counts. Holding shut through our scientific poke test and completely hiding away your cards or cash inside, it also passes my shake test too. But then, wha-bam, simply pulls right off when you need it. And alone, it's no joke too. With a molded leather shell and metal frame, this looks and feels like a gadget Tony Stark would carry or something. In the hand, because it sits within the case, doesn't feel bulky, and actually feels really nice with the leather finish around back. Better yet, if you flip it open, wha-bam times 2. The hinge is sturdy enough to hold at multiple viewing angles without topping over when tickled, but like all things Dango, you can also pair it with a lanyard for an extra level of security, with my favorite having it hang around around the neck, especially for those who don't own any pockets. For me though, there's just something super satisfying about how well these click together, which you can experience too with the link down below. On the opposite end, if showing off your prized possessions is a must, the showcased iPhone case has a giant hole specifically to impress your date with your one-of-a-kind personality. It fits almost any card size and even offering a top or side loading sleeve, depending on which cartoon you prefer to throw away your weekly allowance at. The case itself has a hard plastic window to double down on protection, which also applies to the case too. It's a simple flexible rubber with a matte finish that feels good in the hand, combined with these bulky shoulders to also keep your phone safe. Although it is debatable what's more important inside here. The whole idea seems like it should be some cheap case off Amazon, but Showcase somehow makes it feel like a premium experience in the hand. Maybe it's the color choices or just the fit and finish, as they even have tiny feet to keep the display case lifted off the table. They barely even brand it themselves with a tiny mark on the side. However, you do completely lose MagSafe, so you gotta pick your battles. Oh, and if you're not a total weeb, you can also just put a photo of your girlfriend, real or imaginary. First off, we love Bellroy, so including them as one of the best leather and wallet cases was a no-brainer, simply because we've tested most of the gear and would generally recommend it all. The Mod phone case is no exception. Not only does the leather feel soft and cuddly, they included metal buttons for an extra primo experience. Unfortunately, the camera button is only a cutout though, usable but not my favorite. The real magic though is how they utilize MagSafe, because while you could slow charge perfectly fine, they've developed this cutout system alongside it, eliminating the one issue all MagSafe wallets have: staying on the damn phone. The dual leather feels great as well, and don't worry, it doesn't make it any harder to remove either. However, if you know you're going to carry cards with you anyways, you can skip remembering to grab the wallet and just combine it in their 3-card phone case. Utilizing the same magnetic door that's infinitely addictive to fidget with, it's easily accessible, completely hidden when stored away, and passes our scientific shake test without ever flipping open on its own. Yes, it will add a dump truck to your phone, but on the bright side, it doubles as added cushion for the pushing. It's definitely not a case you want to drop a lot due to the leather, but the added plastic shell does help keep its shape, and obviously with this option, you lose MagSafe permanently. They say the best camera is the one they have with you, but let's be honest, you can't afford any others after buying this iPhone anyways. Fortunately, you can still make it one of the best cameras in the room, because the Moment camera case is the definition of making your gear work for you. Offering add-on wide, fisheye, and telephoto lenses. You may be wondering, my iPhone already has all that though. And you'd be correct. No amount of witty jokes will convince you to buy this, but if you're looking to spice things up and try new ways to shoot with your iPhone, then you should continue watching, because the truth is the whole setup is pretty inconvenient. Carrying all this extra gear, you really have to want to get that shot to invest into all of this. Thankfully, the case on its own is actually really comfortable, offers plenty of protection where it counts, and this concave ridge around the edge so your fingers don't slide off so easily. The color range provides a solid selection too, and they've created an ecosystem of accessories so you no longer have an excuse not to go out and film today. My favorite are these clip-on variable ND filters, because the 180-degree rule really makes a difference, and if you know, you know. Outside of running around with a naked iPhone, I personally prefer slim cases, and the Casefinite Frosted series may be my new favorite thanks to the soft touch finish, clean and minimal design, while also still adding in MagSafe magnets, something you rarely see for a case this thin. I do wish the cutouts were a bit larger so you don't have to dig your fingers in, but they make up for it with how thick it is around the camera bump. By no means is this a protective case though, but those tall lips around the front and back do a great job for everyday slipping and sliding. Now unfortunately, you don't get to actually feel how nice this is to hold on camera, but the added grip is a nice bonus without compromising on pocketability. One-handed usage is blessed, and it does come in a clear white too, which honestly, I don't hate over the black. For the hardcore gamers who think they're goated but are still just a double wooden hammer on gunbound only, comment down below if you played the best game from 2003. The RhinoShield FPS Kit case is like a phone case on steroids, because you have to use it with the proprietary screen protector, which essentially gives you 2 clickable shoulder buttons now, more so designed for shooters like Call of Duty or PUBG, but once you adjust the on-screen controls to adapt to the positioning of the buttons, it seriously surprised me this wasn't just a gimmick. And for anyone that does play, knows that not having to lift your finger to shoot is borderline OP. Unfortunately, no matter how much help you get, you still can't get a dub if your life depended on it, which ironically is what RhinoShield was made for, rage quitting, as this case is based on their famous protective bumper. The buttons are clicky, but the cutouts are a little too deep for my liking, and it will add quite a bit of bulk, but just around the edges, leaving the backside completely open, which perfectly fits my MagSafe wallet and doubles as walls to keep it from sliding off too. Now, for as little bumper as there is, you will feel the girth in your hand day to day, but the upside is you get a guaranteed screen protector too. And if there's one thing I know RhinoShield does well, it's protect your iPhone. Whether it's nostalgia, hand cramps, or just wanting to feel something physically and emotionally, the Clix keyboard case, well, essentially adds a keyboard to your iPhone alongside an inch in additional height. Something you wish you could do for yourself. They've developed an app that gives you a range of settings to customize too, like backlighting and shortcut options, and thanks to it being a direct USB-C connection, there's no lag or need to reconnect every time you want to use it. Plus, now you've got screen on screen on screen to stare at as you write all your haikus. It's actually quite the difference when compared to just tapping onto a screen. They've studied the button shape and contour to maximize efficiency, even sloping them towards the center, which adds to the detail in typing experience. Plus, that click is annoyingly addictive. They've recently updated their cases for the 16 series, offering a harder shell and more defined edges, buttons feel good, and still offering protection for light abuse. The added tail on the bottom actually makes using the camera more comfortable since you've got more of a grip, albeit pretty awkwardly, and the leather patch around back does help keep your fingers comfy over time. They've added MagSafe onto these new cases, however, there's no getting by the fact that this is a large case, and I think you really have to love typing to make that trade-off. So sign up to our newsletter where we share even more gadgets we find, but don't get to share here. But that's it. I rest my BlackBerry